We call to order the September 15th, 2025 Winterville Planning and Zoning Board meeting to order. Welcome to all of those. We've, due to a lack of agenda items, have not seen each other in a while, so good to see everyone that is here this afternoon. On the agenda, we have excused absences for Mr. Doug Killian, Ms. Darlene Garner, and Mr. James Godfrey Jones. What is the pleasure of the board regarding the excused absences requested?
I move we allow the excused absences of all three.
Second?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, use likewise sign. Excused absences granted. You've had a chance to review the agenda that was sent to you, and what is the pleasure of the board?
I move that we accept the agenda as printed.
Second.
Any been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign of aye.
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 Any opposed, likewise. Agenda, new business, Southbrook Phase 2 preliminary plat, revised.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here. It has been a while since we have met, and starting to catch back up a little bit. This month, obviously, we're meeting, and then next month, looks like we'll be meeting as well. Today is September 15th, and we just have one thing on the agenda today. Okay, we have Southbrook Phase 2, which we've seen before, but this is a revised and resubmitted version of the Phase 2 Southbrook preliminary plat. Just to give a reference of where we're talking again, so this is Church Street north to south here, and east to west, Lori Ellis Road. Applicant is Scott Moore with Southbrook NC. Again, this is on Church Street Extension and Lori Ellis Road. This was originally approved by the Planning and Zoning Board on March of this year, and finally by Town Council April of this year. What we're seeing tonight is a resubmitted application in which 16 lots have been relocated in order to avoid an environmental impact. In this case, it's the Neuse River riparian buffer, which we're going to look at. The number of lots will remain the exact same from the previously approved plat. So in total, you'll have 434 residential units in Phase 2. This will contain 336 single-family detached and 44 single-family attached units. The one slight change that you'd actually see in this is the size of the lots. So moving the 16 lots to other locations, it was previously shown that 8,494 square foot was the average lot size. With the newly arranged lots, 7,962 square foot is the average lot size for single family detached. Of course, all of these lots still meet the 6,000 square foot minimum requirement. The single family attached lots will feature 2,200 square foot, which is the same as the previous submission as well. This shows the location of the 16 lots. I've got a paper in front of you guys as well, just to show a little bit easier and a little bit more clearly. But the yellow block shows the location of the 16 lots. Looking at the previously approved plat, again, this is showing where the location of the 16 lots is and the location of the riparian buffer. So the riparian buffer is just right here. So as you'll see on the next, we're a little bit closer, so you can see this gray area. This is a riparian buffer. So essentially what a riparian buffer is when it rains, this water will eventually end up in the Neuse River. So this has been identified as an open water source that runoff will eventually end up in the Neuse River. So it's protected to slow down runoff and to capture some of the runoff so that plants can use it up, and it can go through the ground, and it can reduce the pollution that goes all the way to the Neuse River. This is the revised preliminary plat. As you saw before, they were crossing the buffer here. They've terminated their road just prior to the buffer to avoid that impact. With that, they have readjusted these 16 lots throughout the entire Phase 2 to, of course, add those 16 lots back to the entire site. Luckily, with Southbrook, there is a lot of land, especially within the Phase 2, so they were able to move those into other locations and avoid that environmental crossing. This is just the overall image of the Phase 2 as shown in front of you as well. So with that, that is the only change to this preliminary plat, is the relocation of those 16 lots. Staff recommends approval of Southbrook Phase 2 preliminary plats, revision and resubmission. This preliminary plat has gone through our technical review committee and meets the town's standards and has been approved. Therefore, staff does recommend approval. In addition, this revision really does represent a better design for all parties, for environmental sake, for the town, future residents, and the developer. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to address.
I guess the realization that this was part of that riparian buffer, why was it, I guess, not known or prior to planning and town board?
It still meets the standard, so they could technically still build that area. It was a comment that staff recommended prior to this, but since it was it's something that they can build if they wanted to, then it had to have been approved at that time. But luckily, with the developer coming back and removing that and finding other areas, it is a better design.
So they weren't required to move it, it was just the goodness of their hearts to.
I think it's likely, so crossing environmental areas require a ton of permitting, which can require a ton of time on a developer, that's money, but also crossing a riparian buffer in an environmental area will typically cost a lot more money as well. So I suspect, yes, I hope it is, because of their good heart, but I suspect also it's because of the cost that they could avoid if they brought the lots back into the other area.
I just, was concerned that, that this board and the town council, just weren't fed information falsely, but it was just something that was, they could have built on it, they could,
but luckily they're revising that, yes, sir.
For various reasons. Economics probably the greatest of that is why they.
I would suspect, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for staff and or the developer? There being none, what is the pleasure of the board regarding the Phase 2 preliminary plat revisions for Southbrook?
I make a motion, we approve the Phase 2 revision. For Southbrook.
A second?
It's been moved and properly seconded. Those in favor, use your voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Likewise. All right. Next item, report from staff.
So as you guys can probably tell, there's a lot of hurry up and wait kind of going on right now. There's still a lot of projects out there. Eli's Ridge is currently adding a new phase and they're building homes. Villa Grande is building homes. 11 at Main is building. Southbrook has just started doing some site work on their first phase. And Copper Creek on Reedy Branch Road should be coming pretty soon too. We did also one of the latest plats you guys have seen was the Blackstone preliminary plat. That was, we have now received the construction drawings for that plan and are reviewing that. So we still have a significant amount of, especially residential going on, but a lot of plans kind of still waiting out there, hoping to see some land moving soon. Anybody have any questions? And I do expect us to meet next month as well. Thank you.
Any comments from board members? There being no other business before this board, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, use your voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, likewise. All right, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
My wife just